Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an incredible day. To start things off, it says Ethereum is a freight train at the moment, pretty much unstoppable. With another ETH price surge today, DeFi or decentralized finance markets have hit $1 billion in terms of total value locked. ETH prices are up again today as they tap a 4.5-month high and meet resistance. According to TradingView.com, Ethereum tapped $220 a few hours ago. Since breaking the $200 barrier yesterday, Ethereum has powered on to add a further 8% on the day, outperforming most other high cap crypto assets. There's a little pretty chart right there. As reported yesterday by Bitcoinist, the move above $200 would lead to greater momentum for Ether, which is playing out on markets at the moment. Since the beginning of the year, Ethereum has gained an impressive, since the beginning of this year, 67%. Though it is not the best performing altcoin in the top 20, Ethereum Classic has outperformed them, even better with a surge of over 160% since New Year's Day. That's actually a bit insane, and I wonder if that entire momentum from the 160% has simply been from the information that we had from Grayscale that they would be funding their project for the next 2 years. 160% that's a lot. When you look around, I'm pretty sure you've seen as well, and there are conflicting answers, comments on the situation. A lot of people say that we are definitely in alt season right now, or what is going to continue to be alt season for some time, and other people are saying that we are on the cusp of what could be alt season. Once again, for those of you who do not know, typically sometimes 95% of the time, traditional investments gain, if you're having a good year, between 7 to 15% per year. If you get lucky enough to get 20, you're doing great. So when we get situations where coins are up by 67% or 160% and people are like, meh, it just shows how absolutely insane the cryptocurrency market is. A lot of people are still waiting, once again, for prices to hit their previous highs, which I think we are relatively close to doing, and I'll get to that in a couple of seconds. But if you, the term is a little weird, but if you bought the dip, you are probably doing incredibly well right now, or even dollar cost averaging. If you've just been buying the entire way, you still have been making a pretty good profit, even with such impressive gains so far in 2020. Ethereum is a long way behind its big brother in terms of a full recovery. It could be even considered in a bear market and will remain so until it tops $400, signaling a long-term trend reversal. I still think it's fine. I think the lack of any real major updates over the last 2 years, and Ethereum not being at $5 right now, I think is still pretty gosh darn okay, especially when we went last time from $4 to $1,400. We did not drop back to $4, which usually signals, like I mentioned before the other times when we were looking at Bitcoin's price charts, there's always a huge movement up and then a movement down. We usually retrace but never go back down to where we were the last time, which means a lot of people right now, for those of you who are unaware, and I also don't talk about them too much on the channel anymore, if barely ever, because I know they get a lot of people very riled up. A lot of people are saying that the next major movement for Ethereum, i.e. from $4 to $1,400, because we did not go back to the 4, the next major bull run movement should be putting Ethereum between anywhere from 2,500 to around 4,000 per Ethereum. Yeah, the surge in Ether prices has been good news for decentralized finance markets, as an historic milestone has just been hit. There is now over $1 billion locked away in DeFi markets. Electric Capital co-founder Avichal Garg compared the achievement to a financial startup tapping $1 billion in lending in just 2 years. He said every VC in the world would want to know what that startup does and how it works. And there's a little tweet right there from him. The entire point being, and I think it even has it maybe right here as well from the block. Doesn't have it, but yep, it has it right here. The actual numbers that are locked up in the amount of Ether. This is probably one of the most intelligent things that has happened within the cryptocurrency space. I think it's a bit of a mimic of what EOS did. The podcast I was listening to also made sure to mention that. They said that there was no real mention a couple of years ago, besides the entire idea of a proof of stake coin. There was nothing really surrounding the idea of locking your own crypto into other platforms or other things like that. And this is why I said they even suggested that this was a good idea that they maybe had seen from EOS and kind of just took it a step further, as far as being like, if you want to make something on the actual platform, then you need either coins as well to be able to lock it into that decentralized finance thing. The entire point being, we are not in, or rather, prices aren't where they were before. And yet we still have $1 billion worth of Ether that's actually locked up into these platforms. So one can only assume that if the market continues to perform well, that we will then see even more money locked into these platforms, and then eventually we'll get to the news where there's 10 billion locked in Ether and then 45 billion locked in Ether. And also at the same exact time, once again, the upgrade to proof of stake, which will also then require people, I'm interested to see how that's going to play out. For those of you who don't know, the number that's been thrown around by Vitalik Buterin and a number of other people is that you will need 32 Ether to be able to proof of stake yourself at home. You can turn on your computer, put in 32 Ether, you'll be able to make Ethereum by yourself at home just with your computer. It's expected that we're going to see a mad dash to Ether, or rather people buying Ether, once the Ethereum 2.0 upgrade has become official, which is then once again also weird because you would assume that we know that the upgrade is going to happen, so you would assume that people would just simply be buying Ether right now, but that's not how the world works. I assume if we get to a point this year where Ethereum is back over $1,000, and then we get news that Ethereum 2.0 is going to launch, this is when people will start trying to buy Ether. And at that point, you'll need $32,000 to be able to. It's the entire cycle. Anyway, that's the Ethereum price surge, DeFi, billion money lockup news for today. Tying very loosely into it, for those of you who are not paying attention or once again have not been here in the last couple of days, Bitcoin is very close to $10,000. Yesterday, we went over $9,800. Maybe it was $9,821 or some crazy number like that. I mentioned before, the closer we get, the more scared that people will get. As the price went up, it sunk back down almost immediately because other people get afraid that other people will be afraid. I wonder what the world would be like if we had no fear. We probably all have jumped out of planes by now. The entire point being, this is looking likely. Don't hold me to this. A lot of the analysts are saying that 10,000 is very close, and they think that we could try to hit it by this weekend, because this entire week has been great for cryptocurrency prices. Sometimes the market goes a bit lull on weekends. People are tired. People have other things to do. Maybe people just want to take a break from 5 days of thinking about cryptocurrencies so heavily, where this could even lead us to a Monday situation. And the people are saying, because we haven't seen, like, everything that we've seen so far on the charts has led people to believe that we are going to pass by 10,000. And even, I think it had the numbers somewhere around here. Yeah, we go. Likely cross by 10,000, and it could ignite a strong rally towards 10,400 and 10,650. I think once we pass by 10,000, that's where the rally will kind of come in. People will get interested. You better believe, if we pass by 10,000, I anticipate a scared drop more than I do a rally, at least for a 24-hour period. I think people need to see that 24 hours ago we did pass 10,000. It's definitely doable again. The barrier that was there has already been broken. Let's kind of move forward. I think the major thing that's going to really cause a surge in the market is when we pass by that $15,000 point, because that'll start the conversation. Well, Bitcoin's only air quotes, $5,000 away from the previous all-time high. Heaven help us if we end up hitting 17,500. That's going to cause, I will tell you right now, me and all my friends will probably be buying in bulk. if you will, just in anticipation of it. If any movement above 20,000 is going to cause the entire market to completely go insane. Any movement near 20,000, because thus far what we've seen is that people have been trying to really hit that 10,000, but then the scared people always pull back. Once it's all psychological, and just off of the gains that we've made this year so far, it is the 7th of February, and all the coins have been performing incredibly well. They may not be what they were at their previous all-time high, but this is mimicking 2017. It is eerie how similar this year has been so far, and I think February could look like another very strong month for prices. Anyway, we were 100 and something dollars off from 10,000 yesterday. The prices are still looking relatively steady, and we will see, I guess, by the end of Saturday and or beginning of Sunday if we can pass by that magical number. Let's move on. In somewhat surprising news, I'm surprised they were able to keep this a secret for so long. Tron founder and CEO Justin Sun has finally had his charity lunch with Berkshire Hathaway chairman and famous billionaire Warren Buffett, I know it's Buffett, after a series of delays last year. On the 23rd of January, that was a while ago, Sun met with Buffett in a private not-for-profit country club in Nebraska. Okay, according to a press release shared with Cointelegraph yesterday, the guests also included Charlie Lee, Chris Lee, Helen Hai, and Yoni Asia. Commenting on the much-anticipated event, Sun said, here we go. He said, it was really an honor, and I'm grateful for Mr. Buffett's dinner, wisdom, and vision. I'll always remember his kindness and support, and will take Mr. Buffett's advice and guidance to make Tron a better ecosystem, business with all the partners in the blockchain space and beyond. Sure. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, this was major news last year where Justin Sun paid $4.5 million to have dinner with this guy. I didn't care for that amount. I know it was going to charity, what have you. But there were many delays, and the news was that we had, allegedly, is that apparently Justin Sun was told not to go to the buffet with Buffett. See what I did there? Because apparently he was told by a government not to do so, because they thought that it would undermine their currency. That was the news that we had. There were also some people from, I think, Tron who were like, yeah, this is the news that we got. We were told not to do it. But apparently it happened. Yeah, for those of you who were waiting with bated breath over Justin Sun meeting with Warren Buffett, it happened. Yay! So let's see what happens now. Right. Let's move on. Here's an actual interesting one. Not to say that the last one wasn't, but you get what I'm. Anyway, Bakkt's acquisition. This is, I think, their third acquisition this week that we're hearing about. Bakkt's acquisition of a loyalty rewards company will expand Bakkt's presence across an asset class that today spans over $1 trillion in value. Its parent company CEO said on Thursday. Speaking during the Intercontinental Exchange's Q4 earnings call on Thursday, Jeffrey Sprecher said the company's pending acquisition of Bridge2 Solutions will ultimately be acquired by the Bitcoin warehouse that is Bakkt, will accelerate the second phase of our digital asset strategy. They said we began by building a regulated Bitcoin custody solution, as well as a regulated futures and options on Bitcoin. The second phase includes a consumer-focused digital payment app, Bakkt, first formally announced in October. He said, the next big hurdle for the company will be getting that app into consumer hands, and we will be looking at the consumer adoption more than revenue or expense. Fortunately, that company is not a big drain on us. We have a lot of financial flexibility because they're rich. Now, choked on my own words. Now that the company, given it has a revenue stream both from trading and from operating on all the rewards programs. Users will be able to manage and transact with airline miles, hotel points, cryptocurrencies, and other assets on a single platform. Bakkt is also looking to digital gaming assets as a potential new, oh boy, That means the New York Stock Exchange is going to try and get into video games. He said, we'll position Bakkt as an aggregator and marketplace for these points. The most important part is right around here. The airline miles, hotel points, and I mean, the cryptocurrencies are also big, but the other, where was the word? Like the loyalty rewards, reward points and stuff like that. I listened to, there's one I think is called Freakonomics. It's a podcast. I think that's the name of it. I try and listen to tons of financial podcasts all the time. Some of them are destructively boring. I'm sorry. Some of them are just really bland. But I still try to gather what they were talking about. And one of the episodes on one of them, I can't remember the name of it, they were discussing like gift cards. And I was like, this is going to be great. Can't wait to hear about gift cards. And it was actually very fascinating, simply because no one really pays attention. It says it right here. No one really pays attention to how large the gift card market actually is. It's apparently a hundred of billions of dollar market. Like if they expect it to grow to $506 billion by 2025 just from gift cards, because so many people actually buy these gift cards, use them. A lot of people don't use them. Sometimes people buy them in bulk. It's actually really weird how the industry works. So one thing that I saw spoken about in another podcast, which ties directly into this as well, which is very fascinating. It's this company. They were like a cryptocurrency remittance platform. So people pretty much would go to their platform. They were kind of like a MoneyGram, Western Union kind of thing, but for just exclusively for Bitcoin. And they had it written on their website, you know, if you want to send something securely, we are regulated. We send out, I think once at the end of every day, they would send out a payment, and they let people know, you know, you won't get it there as mega quickly as you normally would just sending it with Bitcoin, but it's more secure should you lose it, you know, the whole thing. And they said that at the end of the day, they would accumulate all of the transactions and send it in one big batch through this thing. And they were saying that they do this because it actually helps Bitcoin's volume. It helps it ups the number on Bitcoin transactions as well, how many things are happening, you know, per day, and also the value being sent through the chain. And the entire proposition was, because they also mentioned this during I'm sorry for talking so much about loyalty, rewards, and points, but it's very interesting. They were talking about the actual prospect is and what can be done, and this is what I think Bakkt is going to actually do, is that you simply run a program. You run something like this, and in the back end of it, you actually send Bitcoin back and forth. So if you have a situation where people are buying these gift cards and they're here's a $100 Target gift card. Behind the scenes, when someone's paying for the actual thing in the store, all it sends is you know, it beeps. They get their whatever they're trying to buy, and then they go on their own way. But the company behind the scenes is taking track of all the actual transactions that have happened with this gift card, and the $100 is then transferred into $100 in Bitcoin, and that's the actual value that's sent back and forth between all the companies. You get what I'm saying? So there's a reason why Bakkt is acquiring a rewards loyalty company program, because you can do the exact same thing in value for airline miles, for hotel points. If people are spending their hotel points on the screen on the computer, you can just give them a thumbs up. Your transaction went through. Here's your thing. Here's your confirmation for the hotel. But the company who's actually processing all of these things can simply still just be paying in Bitcoin. So what happens logically, what they're trying to do, if the New York Stock Exchange is acquiring a loyalty rewards program, airline miles, hotel points, all these other things, and it's a multi-billion-dollar thing that's happening every single year, and all of that is exclusively just being sent through Bitcoin, not even considering the actual Bitcoin futures that they have. We don't talk about the options and any other thing that they could potentially be trying to do, and also the entire Bakkt app thing. Imagine if you had a situation where, because because the people from Bakkt have also, why'd I make that noise? Because the people from Bakkt have also partnered with Starbucks and all these other people. I foresee a future where pretty much how you're able to tap your phone to get into the Amazon store, to tap your phone to get into the metro in certain places, you'll probably just be able to tap your phone to be able to pay for things inside of Whole Foods, inside of Starbucks, and through the back end, it'll probably just be all transacted in actual Bitcoin. Figured it out. Got it. That's the entire point of it. You would, like I said, I'm pretty sure you did not expect the gift card loyalty reward point industry to be worth several billion dollars, if not hundreds of billions of dollars, but apparently it's a very big thing. Tons of people Yeah, I almost told you a story that I probably shouldn't be telling about. So I had a friend who told me something about a friend who he knew who was doing stuff, nothing illegal, but it was definitely a gray line. Her Bitcoin and her loyalty points. Anyway, the point being, we'll see how this works out. Bakkt's acquisitions have been pretty hit or miss. Hopefully they know exactly what they're doing, and I assume through the back end, if you have the proper regulation, you should simply be able to say, well, any value that's pumping through this can simply also just be denominated in Bitcoin, which is going to be fascinating, which would also then show more on-chain usage, more money being sent back and forth, and it would also have a pretty good idea of how much Bitcoin backed. One can only assume that they're already holding an enormous amount of Bitcoin, just logically speaking. Let's move on. Next up, cryptocurrency ATM startup known as CoinFlip is now allowing customers to purchase lumens from its network of machines, according to the co-founder and CEO Daniel Polotsky. The listing increases lumens availability in brick-and-mortar stores, Polotsky said. CoinFlip operates about 450 ATMs in gas stations and convenience stores across the U.S., allowing customers to buy a variety of cryptocurrencies with credit cards. It also runs 40 two-way ATM locations where users can sell their crypto for hard cash, which is something that we all want. Ooh, inflation. CoinFlip ATMs already offer customers access to Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ether, Dash, Komodo, Chainlink, and Tron. Polotsky said Lumen's high daily liquidity, and market prominence, plus his customers' requests, prompted him to list the token. I myself have never used a CoinFlip ATM. As long as there's no camera right here, we're good. I've definitely come across, there was an ATM I went to in Prague, and it had a camera, and I did a U-turn because I see no reason to be filmed as I am making a purchase. Anyway, the point being, lumens, I think CoinFlip is actually one of the most popular crypto ATMs on the planet. I can't remember the name of the actual major one. There's another company that has 2, 3, 4,000 of them. 450 is still not bad. So if you were looking to buy lumens at a CoinFlip near you, or Komodo, or Link, or Tron, or Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ether, or Dash, there you go. Now you can do so. Let's move on. Next up, Binance, one of the world's top cryptocurrency exchanges by trading volume, now allows users to put up their crypto holdings as collateral to fund futures trading. Launched soon before press time, the new cross-collateral feature means users can trade futures contracts using assets stored in their Binance exchange wallet as collateral without the need to use their coins to fund orders directly. Traders using the service can currently borrow Tether at 0% interest against holdings of Binance US dollar. The exchange's own stablecoin issued in partnership with New York regulated firm Paxos, thereby eliminating the need to transfer BUSD to a futures wallet. Aaron Gong, director of Binance Futures, said users of the exchange can expect additional tokens to be supported in the near future. Cross-collateral is a much-anticipated feature for traders on Binance, allowing more flexibility and more chances of deposits to open futures positions. I'm really not going to read anymore. Binance is in the news about 7 times a day. It's draining how many times, I wish I had a counter how many times I've said the word Binance on a 72-hour basis. This is something else. Once again, new that they're launching. Their futures trading platform is, I think them and BitMEX are, I think they're definitely outperforming Bakkt. And I think CME still is the largest. Don't hold me to that. I know that I think Binance is the largest against Tether and other stable coins, but I think CME against the US dollar is the largest. Cool. There's now another thing on Binance that you could do if there wasn't already enough to go with it. Let's move on. And to kind of finish things off in something that we should have all expected, Japan is seemingly following the footsteps of China to ensure that they are not left out in the race for government-backed cryptocurrencies. The country's lawmakers will reportedly release drafting proposals today for the creation of their own central bank digital currency. And I'm sorry, if you've been here for the last 5 months, you have heard me read at least 4 articles from the Japanese government, from the Japanese central bank, where they said they have no need for a central bank digital currency. They see no need for it. There's no want for it. No one needs to do this. They even told other countries last year, don't do it. There's no need for it. Maybe in about 10 years we'll do it. How odd that today we're going to get a proposal for the creation of their own. Remember what I always said? It's always the major institutions or the banks who tell everyone else no that end up doing it themselves. When people tell you, especially, I'm pretty sure you've noticed as well on a lot of the news programs, when they're like, yeah, this doesn't look like a good buy. Looks like Bitcoin's going to keep going down. Tesla, I really wouldn't look into it. And it's like, and later on the price ends up going up. And guess who ended up making the money? The person who told you not to buy it. Japan initially became interested in issuing a central bank digital currency after China announced plans to leverage the blockchain technology to launch a digital yuan last year. The country believes that China's intention is a challenge for the existing reserve currency and international settlement system. Oh, most certainly. For those of you who don't know, about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago, somewhere within that time frame, very large, wide time frame. The entire point being, I showed you guys that article before. It was China, Great Britain, Germany? ? France and South Africa. South Africa? Some country. They all came together. They were trying to make their own brand new reserve bank. And I remember even when the article came out, it was like a because no one I actually clutched my chest for some reason. They actually did this behind the back of the US. I mean, as far, without spies knowing that it was actually happening. But the entire point being, they were trying to make another complete financial system. And they said that they were actually backing the Chinese currency as the new currency for that place. I.e., it wasn't going to be the euro, it wasn't going to be the so-and-so, it wasn't going to be the US dollar, it was going to be the Chinese yuan. And all of a sudden, like 3 months later, poof, dust, the entire thing was gone. I assume they were scolded over what they were trying to do. So when you read around, ow, just hurt myself. Why did I do that? When you read around as to what the Chinese centralized digital currency is going to be, it is absolutely made for circumventing the US dollar. I can imagine the other discussions that the Chinese government has been having with neighboring countries, like, you'll accept this? You'll accept this. You're going to accept it? Good, you'll accept it. Like, there wasn't a, will you accept it? It's a, you're going to accept this as we are sending you payments. Yeah, and even the news that we had that apparently there were talks of other countries talking about making their own digital currencies, for the simple fact that, for those of you who don't know, this country owns a lot of stuff. And I mean a lot of stuff. If you look at all the companies that they actually own, that their name is like nowhere near associated with it, but it's been bought by subsidiaries of other countries, of other companies, you will be shocked. You are probably buying, daily activitying something that has been purchased by this country right here. And the idea is, in the future, if they decide to have all the apps, the video games, all this other stuff, if you're able to earn this in-game or pay for it for something in a digital kind of way, because there are really no barriers. It's no longer you having to go here to get their currency. It's all digital. You can, if you download WeChat, or if you download Alipay, if you download something else, and you are able to actually use this in the States or in Canada or in Mexico without actually having to be present in this country, it creates a problem for the other systems. So you better, they're not doing this simply because they want to make payments easier for people within their country. They're doing this on their quest for global domination. Japan sees China as a competitor. They fear that the digital yuan, if launched, coupled with China's 1.4 billion people, could become the standard within the digital economy. There we go. China is already the world's second largest economy in terms of annual GDP. Hence, Japan's moves are for screaming. Japan's move to create its own, it's not a cryptocurrency. Its own digital currency is a supposed measure to counter the potential influence of China's upcoming digital currency. According to Norihiro Nakayama, a senior lawmaker of Japan's ruling party, the proposal tomorrow will help to pave the way for the use of the digital currency in the country. However, this does not mean that Japan would be launching its money anytime soon due to legal and technical challenges. Remember the news we had yesterday that there won't be, what was the other one? That like, it'll be about 10 to 15 years before these things launch? Sure, cool. Here's the actual Bloomberg article right here. It says Japan sees Japan seen needing U.S. help to check China's digital yuan. I read it properly. There we go. I'm expecting some political fiascos to kind of happen in the next couple of years because of these digital currency wars. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Tigara Macho Nisa, Bake Me a Cake, Arf Medic 17, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Bodie McBoatface, Yes, 2 Crypto, Miller Hitch Chest Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day, Minting Coins, Jeremy Fox, Jim Gardner, Anthony Charles, Nick Mangialavori, Paxis, Crypto and Beer Shipmate, Vlad the Impaler, Richie Rich III, Nick Kanaya, Setsuna Damien, Nicholas One Earth, One Piece, One Love, Crypto Artist, Cole D3D, Milweezy Adobo, Bankroll Network, Crypto Joe, 242 to the World, Wise Night Owl, Jared Schneider, Brady Neals, Master Ventures in Thailand, Moham Maroney, Adam Graysick, Todd Mullis, Barebones Mining, A Bibliophobia, and the Animal Reader, John Stars, and Mr. Pickles, Nostromo, Chongololo, Tsongololo, Professor Wally from Gun Bot University. I just got a text from my friend. If you are watching this video right now, that's going to be hilarious. He just texted me. It said, OMG, so close to 10,000. What is it? Bitcoin's price is going up. It's at 9,816. It was like 700 something when we started the video. Hello to you, friend, and probably see you later on today, if not tomorrow. I've already made plans with friends. Whenever Bitcoin's price goes over 10,000, like a good over 10,000, we're probably going to celebrate in some sort of way. And maybe like a premature celebration as we have not hit 20,000. You got to live your life. Just go out and have some cake and do something fun. At the moment, Bitcoin is currently up by 1.63%. We are $184.29 away from $10,000. Ethereum is currently up by 5.43%. I'm assuming this is going to continue during the rest of the day. The other big gainer is Binance Coin, currently up by 10%. Holy goodness. Tron is up by 12%, maybe on the news of the lunch. Lumens is up by 4%. Maybe that was the ATM thing. Chainlink is up. The Wobi token is up. A lot of weird, interesting coins are up at the moment. Quantum is up. Decred is up. Raven Coin is up. We haven't heard from 0x in a while. Omise Go is up. Maybe this is off the back of the Ethereum news, as they are very closely associated. ZB is up, whatever ZB is. Anyway, it's looking like very interesting times ahead. I'm waiting to see what happens as the rest of the world ends up waking up, because we are so close. I can see it. Anyway, without getting too intense, I do hope that you all enjoyed. I hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. We've been waiting for this moment for a while. It looks like it could possibly be happening. We are getting closer every day to the halving. I think we are, 94 days, 96 days away at this point. Every day, every minute, we get a little bit closer. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.